120 Sports is proud to bring in the director of Sunset Station Casinos, Chuck Esposito. This is one of the biggest weeks, not just obviously the biggest in horse racing, but in sports in general, as the Kentucky Derby it will be underway on Saturday. Chuck, I'm curious, right now, rank and file from favorite and all the way down, how is this Kentucky Derby shaped up?
Well, I think the big thing, Scott, about this Kentucky Derby is that it's so wide open that there hasn't been that same amount of hype about a particular horse, that some of these horses didn't do as well as anticipated in some of the Derby prep races. You can make a case for probably a number of horses. The weather's supposed to be bad, so you might look for horses that prefer to run in the mud. Only half of the 20 entries have actually had experience in the mud or the rain. The other 10 have not. There's only 4 horses that have single digits, which is really kind of unheard of. The favorite right now is Classic Empire. He's 5-2 in his 7 starts, followed by Always Dreaming. And so you think about these horses, and McCracken, excuse me, so that there is some favorites there. But McCracken had 4 straight wins, but then came in 3rd in the Bluegrass. Classic Empire won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, was the horse of the year for 2-year-olds, but was injured and didn't want to train. I think you have to look for some value on the board, Scott, and find some long shots. The feel-good story's Patch, and maybe he can hit the board with that one eye. If he gets out there in front, maybe he's not going to see anything else and just be able to run from start to finish. The last 4 years, though, the Derby favorite has won the race, and that's the longest streak since the early 70s.
That's a good note. Yeah, I think that there are a lot of people that aren't diehards that will try, if they figure out that sentimental story will probably flood more money. With the backing sort of having strong parity, as you alluded to, weather, as you also mentioned, will play a huge factor. So if there is wet ground as this premier race begins, in the hours leading up to it, which types of horses, and if you could specify a couple of them, do you feel a lot more money will be going on them because of the way they run?
Well, again, Scott, like I mentioned, only half the horses in the field have experience running in the mud or not ideal conditions. So I think when you look at only 4 horses that have single-digit odds, when you start thinking about exotic-type bets, when you're looking at the Exactas and the Quinellas and the Trifectas, you're going to be looking for value. You're going to be looking to key more horses that have some experience in the bad conditions or the mud, maybe some bombers in there that you actually can get a huge payout because of that. So we'll see how the weather is tomorrow. Again, it's not supposed to be good. It should be fun, though, with this wide-open field with really no clear-cut favorite right now, with only 4 horses with single-digit odds.
Track betting is its own monster compared to sports betting in, like, say, the 4 major sports. From your perspective, being a book, how different do you approach the Kentucky Derby compared to the NBA playoffs or the Super Bowl?
Well, we accommodate both race and sports guests, Scott. This is arguably the biggest race day of the year, and I think it appeals to, even if you're not a serious sports bettor, it's just like that big football game in February. You want to have a piece of it. You want to have some fun. You want to have some rooting interest, and I think that's what we see on Derby Day. We've got a crazy hat contest going on. You've got a number of drink specials, including mint juleps, a lot of different promotions going on. We'll have standing room only crowds, and all of our race and sports books will be catering to the race guests, and it's a fun time. It's just an unreal atmosphere. When you hear the track announcer say, down the stretch they come, if you're not at Churchill, there's no better place to be than one of the books here in Vegas, just because of the atmosphere and the noise. It's electrifying throughout the casino, not only in the book.
Wow, if you don't have the chance to go to Churchill Downs, you might as well go to where you are. I hope you're able to partake a little bit, Chuck.
I'll be on the book with the crowd and the guests, enjoying it and having some fun tomorrow. But it's the most exciting 2 minutes in all of sports, and it is a huge day for the Vegas race industry.
Well, good luck this weekend. Thank you for your time, Chuck Esposito. We appreciate it. We look forward to talking to you in the future.
All right. Thank you, Scott.